Everybody has a story to tell when it comes to our mental health. My name is Darius. I'm a filmmaker and I also live with anxiety. This project has taken me on a journey around the country to meet young Australians from all walks of life who have suffered various mental ill health conditions, but have bravely found a path forward and the tools to support their recovery. I met with Nikita because I wanted to hear her experiences of managing her mental health in the workplace.
I work as a manager for a company here in the city, and having people understand that mental illness is something that is actually really common. Companies are becoming more aware of it, and I feel the judgment isn't as what it was even the past 10 years.
It feels as though there's a disconnect that happens socially in Melbourne. You can very easily go about your day without speaking to a single person. I don't think that's a natural way of being. I think that we're meant to communicate, we're meant to engage with people, and it becomes really normal in this big city environment not to speak to people.
I actually have Asperger's or autism. I was diagnosed when I was about 8 or 9, so I've always had a lot of trouble making friends and sort of socialising, and that really had a bit of a negative impact on me. And when I was about 13, 14, it's almost like I crashed in a way. Like I just fell into like this really deep black hole that just I couldn't really sort of get out of, and I was just like that up until I was probably about like 19 or 20. I never really sort of sought any help because I just felt like I wasn't really worth it, and just so I experienced a lot of depression and anxiety. Like I barely ever left my room. I didn't talk to anyone.
When I'm anxious and trapped in my head, it's a real onslaught, a real barrage of negative thoughts piling on top of the other about the past or about the future. I feel tense in my body, and it's a loop. It's like being stuck in a hamster wheel. What I notice is there's this inner critic compounding it, telling me all these things that I should have done or haven't done enough of, or what are other people going to think of me. Like, even about coming into this, doing this filming, doing this show, it's like, what are people going to think of me on TV, and why am I doing this?
Yeah, I came to Australia at 2012 from Iran. In my country, I became atheist. I wasn't allowed to stay in my country. It wasn't safe enough for me. So I took a risk and I came by boat to Australia because I didn't have another choice. Because I came by that way, I was in detention center. I had depression for 2 years. I was taking medication, depression medication, but I decided to start living. I decided to put myself in lots of things to do, make myself busy and active. So that was helpful for me to forget what happened to me, why I left my country, you know.
When I was 15, I started having panic attacks. I didn't know what that was. I went to the doctors and had ECGs, echo sounds. It wasn't until I was about 24 that a colleague said to me, "I think you've got anxiety." And I found it astonishing that all these doctors didn't really pick up on it, because I'm saying, "No, I feel like I'm having a heart attack. Like, you don't understand." And they're like, "No, your heart's perfectly fine." And here I am being dramatic, being, if I die, how are you going to explain this to my mum?
Tools I use for mental health, a big one is a daily practice of prayer and meditation. They help me connect to a deeper part of myself. It's helped train me to become aware of my thinking, that I have been thinking, and to help me realise that the future's not happening, the past has already happened, but here and now is where I am. And that's been such a powerful game changer for me. Before that, I was totally identified with my thoughts. I thought thoughts were real. And it's real that I'm thinking, but they're not real. And that's been it's been liberating. But it doesn't mean the thoughts stop. I just learned to become more aware of them. And so being able to become aware of my thoughts, breathe, do all those kind of things, become aware of my body and come back into the here and now.
I suppose what gives me hope is that it does get better. And I always used to hear people say that, but I never really believed it. But now that I'm actually sort of there, it gives me hope that I can try and help other people get there as well.
got a dog. I saved her, but I'm sorry. She definitely saved me. Just love her so much. I remember being in the midst, I hadn't been on my medication yet, again, and she wasn't allowed to sleep on the bed. She was only allowed on her bed next to my bed, and I was in the middle of an anxiety attack. And the only thing I could think of was to grab her and have her next to me, and she's been in the bed ever since. She's been my lifesaver. So I think having something else to look after as well gives me a meaning in life.
First days in Australia, I was feeling what I'm doing here, why this happened to me, but now I tell to myself, I'm here in Australia, it's like my second home, I really enjoy being here. And so what I have, my skill, better to use it to be someone in life useful, you know, and show my culture, food, that's my, cooking is like my passion, and it's showing my culture, food is my dream. And it's my dreams when Australian try Iranian food.
I have hope because I love. I love my friends, I love my family, I love my partner, I love my cats. And I think that if you have love and if you cultivate love in your life, you can't help but have hope.
What I heard from the people I met was that life in the city is not easy, but with love, connection and purpose, you can make it work to look after your mental health. And that makes sense. They won't magically make your struggles disappear, but it creates a solid base from which you can navigate all that city life presents you with. If you want to show your support for the project, please share this and subscribe to the Being Here YouTube channel. It actually makes a big difference. Thanks.